All right, guys, I am back. This is your boy BJ from No Filter MMA. I am back with a live video short. How about that? So, yeah, guys. So, John Jones failed more drug tests ahead of the December drug test. The December drug test is not the only test that John Jones failed. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. So, what's interesting about this whole thing is that Jeff Nowitzki and Dana White came out and publicly said that John Jones only got flagged for the December 9th drug test. And now Jeff Nowitzki goes on. Somebody tell me if I'm wrong. We live. We're live. So somebody please tell me if I got this story wrong because I just read the article. Yeah, I watched the live video when they came on, and Dana White gave that bullshit of an excuse as to what was going on, and I just read the article that was released. Somebody please tell me what's going on. Tell me if I'm wrong. Okay. So apparently, John Jones. Let me look up exactly. Um, Let me look up exactly what this says, guys, because I just wanted to make sure that I'm not giving y'all wrong information. Okay. So John Jones' December 9th drug test wasn't the first time his 2018 test results raised alarm bells. UFC Vice President of Athlete Health Performance Jeff Nowitzki on Thursday told the Joe that was yesterday. That was yesterday, guys. Yesterday. Nowitzki told on the Joe Rogan Experience MMA Show podcast. In fact, Nowitzki said Jones' test from August 29th and September 18th returned trace amounts of the same steroid metabolite that resulted in a 15-month suspension for his positive test at UFC 214, which was last year, 2017. Ugh. So this is what I think. This is all a bunch of mess, guys. I mean, this is all a bunch of mess. So what I think has happened here is the UFC knew that USADA was going to release publicly the test results. They tried to make it okay to make everybody okay with the move from Nevada to Los Angeles. I believe that's what happened. I believe that they tried to Joe Rogan and Jeff Nowitzki tried to smooth everything over by saying, "Oh, he only failed one drug test, and it was a picogram." You know, but if I'm not mistaken, another article that I just read about this said that in one of these tests there was like 29 picograms of Turinabol in John Jones's system on one of these two tests. Either it was the September 18th test or it was the August 29th test. It was one of those two tests. I feel like the UFC knew that USADA was going to put these results of these tests out, and they did not want to look like liars. So Jeff Nowitzki and Dana White, of course, and probably some attorney for the UFC or whatever, said that it'd be best to go ahead and just release the fact that this isn't the only test that John Jones failed. What is it about John Jones, guys? I mean, I wish there was more of you in here right now. What is it about John Jones that the UFC can't do without? Shout out to my girl Channel J from Channel MMA with Jay, because she brought this to my attention. Shout out to Jay. Channel MMA with Jay. Go and subscribe to her. She is awesome. What is it about the UFC or excuse me, what is it about John Jones that the UFC cannot let go? I mean, we live, baby. Jared, what's up, man? He's a cheater. Simple. Cash cow for the UFC and best of all time. True, Jared. But now we know that John Jones failed more than one drug test. What? Oh my God. Maybe Misha Tate was right. Y'all know Misha Tate, she's the new vice president of One Fighting Championship. Maybe Misha Tate was right when she said the UFC is a shit show. When Misha said the UFC is a shit show, maybe Misha is right, yo. Maybe Misha is right. Because this is UFC 232 is a shit show. It has all got to do with one person. One person, y'all. One person. It's John Jones. John Jones coming back has made UFC 232 a complete shit show. That's all I got to say about it, y'all. That's all it is. It is what it is. It is what it is. And then do you think they would have done the same for Conor? Yes, I do, Jared. I absolutely do. I 100% believe that they would have done the same exact thing for Conor McGregor. Absolutely. I agree 100%. Yes, they would have done the exact same thing for Conor McGregor. So, and then at the press conference yesterday, did you guys see how the female reporter asked John Jones that direct question and how John Jones avoided that? You see, and he verbally attacked the woman, the reporter, the media girl, for asking him a direct question. She asked him, why is the UFC still focusing on you? That is very direct. Very direct. As a matter of fact, y'all, I'm about to play this clip. Listen to John. I'm not going to show the visual because I don't want, any copyright things to happen. But guys, check this out. Listen to what this reporter asked John Jones and listen to Daddy Dana White and come to his defense and watch John Jones get mad. Listen, guys.
With a couple of questions to John. How come this is the third time we're actually taking focus from the fighters and the fights and talking about what you have in your body, whether it's a picogram or a pictogram? Why have you tested now positive?
Next question, please. Thank you.
Listen.
All right. Dana White. Tell me, why are we still having...
She asked Dana!
Instead of seeing a 2-year suspension like Frank Mir.
Why are we still what? What's the question?
Dana, you heard that question.
Hold on.
You heard him. Shut up. You heard her.
I want to take the mic from her. Better questions. Better journalism.
Listen how mad John Jones is.
What's the reason?
Better journalism. Better journalism. You suck. Better journalism. Hold on. Let him talk.
He told the lady she sucks.
What's the reason for John Jones having a picogram in his body?
I don't know. Yeah, that's been the topic of this entire. Yeah, well, I told you, like I told Aaron, talk to Jeff Nowitzki about that. If you want to know the science of what's going on, talk to him.
All right, Alexander, what are your thoughts? Because it's been the focus is on this instead of the big fight coming up.
Finally, a good question.
John Jones, you cannot get mad because somebody asked you a direct question about you fucking up. If you are man enough to fuck up and knowing it's going to be public, you know it's going to be public. If you man enough to fuck up, you man enough to take it on media day. When those journalists ask you those questions, you should be man enough to step up and take responsibility for what you have done. John Jones, you know you on steroids, bro. You're on something. Listen, I'm gonna use weed as an analogy. I'm gonna use weed. Okay, a lot of people smoke pot. If you take a drug test and you pop dirty for marijuana, it does not matter It does not matter what you say. The test results say that you have one way or another ingested marijuana. One way or another, you have ingested marijuana. You have taken that into your body. That is what has happened, John Jones. That is what has happened. It's there's no ifs, ands, and buts about it. And the fact that the UFC went to this kind of a length to cover it up, the UFC went to these lengths to cover this up. It's a fucking conspiracy, guys. I'm telling you, it's John Jones is proven to every other fighter in the UFC right now that he is untouchable. He can do whatever he wants. He can say whatever he wants. He can take whatever he wants, and they will still let him do his thing. John Jones needs to be seriously reprimanded for what he is doing. And that's my opinion. If he's doing it. I'm not accusing John Jones of doing it. If John Jones is taking steroids and cheating to beat his opponents, John Jones needs to be reprimanded for that. There have been less damaging situations in the UFC, and people have received harsher punishment for those type of things. Nico Montano, whatever reason she took out, whether she didn't want to fight or she missed weight, that's it. Her title was stripped. I mean, Cindy Dandois came into the UFC and had a fight with Alexis Davis. Everyone knows Cindy Dandois is not a striker. She's a jiu-jitsu player. The UFC is headstrong against signing Cindy Dandois to the UFC. A legit featherweight who's ready to fight. Does Cindy Dandois get a chance to fight in the UFC? No, never again. Never, ever again. Never again. Probably never, ever again. There are fighters, there are women, there are legit female featherweights in this world right now that in Invicta, in Bellator, that are dying to touch the UFC. There are women dying, clean athletes, clean, respectable, marketable athletes, dying to get into the UFC to help build a division, to help promote women's MMA, and they don't get a chance to come into the UFC. The UFC is adamant on not signing those women. And then you have someone who blatantly and habitually cheats in the sport. Habitually cheats in the sport. And he gets a free pass. This is like what, like the lady said, the third, I think it may even be the fourth. The third or fourth time that John Jones, there's been controversy around John Jones and something inside of his body. And he gets a free pass. He gets the whole card on fight week uprooted from one state and moved to the next. I don't care how far of a distance it is between Los Angeles and Las Vegas. I don't care. It's not that, people saying it's not that much of a distance, whatever. A whole card got uprooted and moved to another state because of this man, because he can't play by the rules. Now, at any job that I've worked at, if you don't follow the rules, you get fired. You get a verbal warning, you get a written warning, you get sent home, and then you get fired. This is John Jones' fourth strike. And it's the easiest strike of them all. This is crazy. When I read this article, let me go back to this article. Jeff Novinsky is definitely in cahoots with Dana White. But when I read this article and it said that John Jones had failed, he had failed more than one test, for this fight, my jaw hit the ground. My jaw hit the ground. Let's see what this. Let me continue reading a little bit more. In late November or early December, Nowitzki said he was aware there might be issues with John Jones' test after the executive Donna Marcolini came to him and expressed concern over a pair of results that classified as pending. The promotion had access to the exact dates and times of tests conducted by its anti-doping partner USADA, whereas the public only received weekly updates on the frequency of tests. Okay, so the UFC knew about this, yet and still Dana White comes out and publicly tells us that John Jones only failed one drug test. On December 6th, the bad news arrived via a letter from USADA, which informed the UFC and the NSAC of the re-emergence of the banned metabolite in August and September. The UFC knew about this. They knew about, guys. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Tell me I'm wrong. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I'll admit the fact that I'm wrong, but tell me if I'm wrong. The UFC knew about John Jones' failed drug test. Wow. Let's see. Everything changed. However, when the results of Jones's December 9th drug test came back, it again showed trace amounts of the M3 metabolite in the same range as the previous test. So where did all this information? Okay, here's a statement from Nowitzki. They did not say this fight is absolutely not happening next week, Nowitzki said. In fact, they, I think, were understanding of the issues, but said, look, optically, this doesn't look great, and we feel that out of an abundance of caution, we feel we need to have a public hearing to be very transparent about this, because this is some weird shit. Guys, I don't know what to say. I don't know what. There's nothing I can say. I'm just a podcaster. All I do is make videos on what I see, what I read, and what I think. There's nothing else I can do. There's nothing else I can do but just speculate and let you guys know what I'm thinking. Seriously, people watching, start typing. Drop in the comment section. Hit the live chat button. Type your thoughts, because I need to know, did I read that information correctly? I mean, so the UFC straight up just blatantly lied to us and told us that John Jones only failed one drug test. And now that we get closer to the fight, knowing that USADA is going to release those test results, they're going to let us know what happened. You know what I'm saying? All of a sudden, the UFC wants to come out and say, oh, well, he actually did fail 2 more drug tests, and there were more, more amounts of it in his blood in those tests. Because I'm telling you, it said 29 picograms was in the September. I want to say it was the September. It was either the August drug test or the September drug test. So one of those 2 drug tests, there was 29 picograms of turinabol found in John Jones's body. I'm not real political, guys. Like, I don't know how the inner workings of that business go behind the scenes. I just know that we've been lied to, and it really makes organizations like One Fighting Championship, Bellator, Pride. I mean, not Pride. Lord, I said Pride. PFL. It really makes organizations like that look much, much better and much more honest and much more interesting to put my MMA time into. It really does, because it just seems like it gets worse and worse and worse and worse with the UFC. The UFC is so dishonest with its fans. We're the people who keep the UFC afloat. We're the people who spread the word about the UFC. We're the people who are talking about the UFC, especially us guys on YouTube, Coach Shelton Harrison, Full Time MMA, Channel MMA with Jay. You know what I'm saying? All these people that are making these videos, who else? Let me see. One Up MMA's writing articles. MMA Freaks is on Facebook talking about. We all the people who are spreading this news. We're the ones grudging it out. The hardcore fans. Let me put it like that. We're the hardcore fans, and we have to deal with conspiracies and lies and things like that come from the UFC. And we all know the UFC have mob ties. We all know that. We know how things like that go. It doesn't matter what we think. They're going to tell us what they want us to think. They're going to tell us what they think we should know. But some of us, you know what I'm saying? Like, we see right through that shit. We see right through that shit. Some of that shit is a lot of bullshit. You know what I'm saying? And the fact that they will put these fighters, let's not mention. I'm gonna put the weight. I'm gonna put the tax cut, the money cut, the wage cut, a 30% deduction out of their money, out of their purse. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna put that to the side. The fact that they will uproot these fighters and do these fighters like that is treacherous. It's awful. And Montel Jackson, Montel missed weight. He missed weight that I guarantee you, if he did not have to move from Nevada to California, that he would have. He only missed weight by a pound. He only missed weight by 1 pound. 1 pound weight miss. And I'm pretty sure if this fight hadn't been moved, that he would have been on weight. Guys, I have nothing else really to say. I let it all out there for you. You guys definitely drop your comments in the comment section. Hit the thumbs up or thumbs down button. I don't care which one you hit. And let me know what you think about this debacle. This is your boy BJ from No Filter MMA, and I am out.